Hi everyone, I hope you're keeping well and things are good. I'm just out obviously taking a walk by the river tonight. Just So basically I wanted to hop on and just talk more about a wee post in regards to arts and culture. There's a very specific reason for that, and I've been thinking about the right way to present it to you, of course, to talk about it. I love that photo festival that's there, and it's lovely to see the world from a different perspective and maybe learn something new about the world that I didn't know before. So it always turns out to be a very insightful experience and a very thought-provoking experience. So I do end up with, say, a moment of contemplation and a moment of reflection. Now, you may find it could do the same for you. But what I think is really good about embarking on a journey to step into an art gallery, look at maybe arts, culture or different walks of life through the form of a lens or artistic talent, a picture, a painting. It's not just good for the mind and the soul just to walk around and have a look at it, but I just think that what it does is so much more that we don't realise. So it's a case of opening our mindset. It helps our mindset to evolve and also puts us in a perspective where we can become, I suppose, more open-minded. And being open-minded is one of the best ways to help connect with people, because you're broadening your perspective on things. So if you walk into a room full of different people, you've got a melting pot of nationalities, cultures, attitudes, and people are either going to get along or they're not, because you're not everybody's cup of tea anyway. But it's how you step into that room with your energy and your attitude, and in turn I think that embarking on arts, culture, anything that will expand your perspective and help you see the world through somebody else's eyes is actually going to make you a better leader. So you can develop, of course, your empathy as you go. Your leadership skills will evolve. So while your communication skills, they're very important for it as well. Like, you can talk to somebody on their level, but you don't talk down to them or hurt them with what you're saying, because only certain people with a very low vocabulary and a very low communication skills would walk into a room, just shout all over the place and be using bad words and telling people who, what, whatever, and using the slang of any form of name calling. But a leader walks into a room and treats people with respect and uses a better form of communication. So you always have to stop and check that the person has understood what you said and relay it back to them, they relay it back to you, and just be able to sit down, have a cup of tea and a really good chat to know and understand that person and where they're coming from, so that you can actually be able to coexist in this life with them. So it works very well for people that are in sports clubs, that are trying to lead as a football coach or a netball coach, or you're a running coach. Athletic skill is quite amazing. Fair play to everybody. It gets to the Olympics for that drive, commitment and motivation. So those are skills then, if they were in a normal job, that could be transferable into that. So if you are in a sports club, that's absolutely grand. It'll do you better in life. It serves you well to be sociable, as well as, that's a lot of ones in America do, the sports scholarships in college, I think, because of what you can transfer from what you learn from being in a team to life, to education, to work, to everything. And when someone walks into a room with two people that don't like each other, they don't get on, it's maybe a miscommunication and a misunderstanding barrier, because they don't get each other. It's like maybe a different language, or one's from the country, one's from the city, so they just don't gel. Sometimes you have people who have personal problems that are going on, and they've got so much emotional baggage, they've come into work, they've just exploded, and it's not personal. I think one of the things about leadership is that you have to take the fact and know that it's not about you. You walk into that room and they start mouthing at you, or they're not willing to work, or even if it's not even a job but a community event, if you're a volunteer and everybody's just doing what they want, not listening to you, you know, you're trying to be a leader. So what I say is, if you can develop and broaden your perspective, your point of view, to meet somebody on their level, you can certainly treat people with more respect, but you also treat yourself with more respect, and then take it from there. And of course, your active listening skills, your communication skills, empathy are 3 very important things for someone to become a great leader. Because if you don't learn how to develop them and open up as a person as well, I think that toxic bosses and toxic coaches, sports club leaders, community leaders, you just want to hit them up the back with a frying pan, or stick a brick in your handbag and hit them over the head with that, metaphorically. That's Belfast style anyway. But you can restrain yourself from doing that and find that you don't like them or get along with them because you don't feel valued or appreciated at work or in the community. And I think that's the worst thing for anybody, to feel in a group setting that they're invisible. So when you include everybody and you're willing to see the best in people and bring that out in them as well, that's going to do you so much good. Life is not easy, nobody said it should be, but we can at least communicate better with each other and show more respect and be willing to move forward together as people that are willing to have that better understanding of each other. It's just, life is life. But again, if you go to work, you're there to work, your work colleagues aren't your family. But when you get home, how do you communicate with your family is different than how you communicate it at work. It's not about leadership skills at home because you're into a different part of your life, because you're either a mother or you're a sister or you're a daughter or you're a friend, or you don't have kids but you're somebody's partner, you know, you're their boyfriend, their girlfriend. The dynamics shift and your dynamics shift. So there's more than one aspect of you that is present in a day, that you flip between different aspects. So it's also about putting yourself into a point where you have to insert emotional intelligence as well, so that you know when you need time for you professionally and you need time for you personally. But again, just start looking at the world as a broader perspective. Willing to sit down and have a cup of tea and chat with someone you've never spoke to before. It might be the most encouraging and insightful conversation you've ever had that could inspire something in you as personally in your life. And it helps you become a leader. It helps you develop those leadership skills so that you can have your voice as well as appreciating other voices of people that are in front of you. I just think that we all make this world go round by being a part of it. We all have a right to have an active part in this life, but it's how we go about it, it's how we treat people, it's how we treat ourselves. And I just think that just, flip the switch in the mindset, broaden your perspective, see something from somebody else's point of view. Sometimes, just try and put yourself in their shoes. Might just be the step towards empathy that is needed. And then of course you can certainly develop them as you go, in the better rapport that you need with people around you anyway. And you might find you have something in common that could just be what breaks the ice. And that's it. Because what I will say is, don't expect people to do something you wouldn't do yourself. So if there's a pile of rubbish lying around you and you're like, right folks, here's the rubbish bags, here's the pick up clean up kit, off you go, get it done. But if you're standing there with a cup of tea and you're saying, you've messed a bit, hurry up, we don't have time for this, we need to get it done, you're going to be the most hated toxic boss or group leader on the planet for the next few days. Everybody will hate you. But if you walk in and say, right, I'm going to put you into groups and I'm going to join this group, Bible, pop around, see if everybody's okay, and you actually follow through and do that, you're picking up that letter and you're putting it in that bag and you're doing that with them, which means you're leading by example. And that's what we need more of people in a positive role that's going to have that open mindset, communication skills, empathy, active listening skills, can-do attitude, and just look at everybody and go, we're all people, let's get this done, let's have the best day. I love people with a high vibe energy, sometimes a wee bit much, but I love that they can bring out the goodness in you when you walk into a room. It's like, here you go, that's for you, we're all doing this, but let's get involved together. So I like people that encourage that and encourage everybody to get involved. And it's just, again, whether you're running a network marketing business, you're a coach, you're in a corporate environment, it's all definitely going to work well for you to develop your interpersonal skills, plus again to help you step into a leadership role. You may have everything on paper that makes you look fantastic for a management role or leadership role in the local community, but you as a person and your attitude is what could hold you back from having that promotion or having that step up in the community and in society, because people just will not, and it's not about what people want. Again, at the end of the day, it's what those above you see in you to think you're good enough to step up, but it's how you evolve in yourself to do so, to match that for you and to retain that, to stay in that position. So just always come from a place of respect, dignity and grace for yourself, respect, dignity and grace for others, help people to keep their dignity and their integrity, to look at their weaker points and maybe put them with someone who has that, as excels in that as a good point, so they can work together and one can bring out maybe the best in the other or help them develop it. It's really how you go about seeing the best in others, and I think we forget when we look at people that we are still people, and to see what the best in that person is. So hopefully we can start doing that, and hopefully it will help you on your way become a great leader and excel in this life personally and professionally. And may you just have the most wonderful life. Have a great day.